Prasant Naidu here from Lighthouse Insights. And today we have Kunal Lagwankar. He is the CEO, co-founder at AdSparx. He's got more than a decade of experience into video distribution products. And Kunal, before we understand what AdSparx does, can you just quickly talk about where did you grow up and how is it and where did you went to schooling and things like that?
Sure. So, born and brought up in Mumbai. So, been a Mumbaiker all my life. I did my engineering at VJTI in Mumbai, graduated in 2003. And right from the college days, one of the most important discussions used to be around campus placements. And, but there were some of us who always wanted to do some startup on our own. So getting to live that dream, started my first venture in 2005, late 2005, exited that venture in 2008, post an acquisition by one of the companies based out of India. From 2012 onwards, we've embarked on our new journey on the new venture, trying to solve a problem of monetization in internet video. So, moved our company to Pune with the plan that we will set up a development center here in Pune. We are also an Microsoft alumni, Microsoft Ventures Accelerator alumni company, being part of the Accelerator batch. Spent some time in Bangalore learning a lot of important things that a startup should be doing. So yeah, it's been a decade-long experience in the technology space, doing 2 startups so far.
Kunal, I understand both your startups before AdSparx were into the video space, right? Maybe you can just talk about that, like how was the experience, what were you building, and how does that connect to AdSparx? Because I think there's somewhere the connection there.
That's right. That's right. So, video, obviously, we've been fortunate enough to start our careers working in the video space. So, not really much of our own choice there, but we happen to be in the video space. But when we started our first venture, we knew that we were solving an important problem of video. How do you actually compress video while retaining its high quality and compress it to the extent where it can actually be distributed on very low bandwidth networks? So we started with a very generic problem of this video distribution, but eventually, over a period of time, we realized that the real opportunity lied in the fact that people were actually going to use mobile phones for more than just communication. And we, grabbed onto this opportunity and built a mobile TV platform. So we pivoted a couple of times. We learned on the way, but we started our first venture with the intention of solving a problem of internet video distribution. Eventually, it turned out to be a mobile TV because that's where we realized that was one of the major important problems that we were solving. It was back in 2005. It was obviously early days of mobile TV platform. We were one of the first ones to bring a real live TV experience on mobile devices, and we also brought in those early days again. We brought in the concept of multi-bitrate adaptive streaming, single login, ability to access the content across multiple devices, and we saw that customers were actually latching on to this concept very fast. We were amazed at the kind of response and the kind of traction that we were getting in the Indian market. We had interest coming in not only from tier 1 cities and tier 2 cities, but we also had a lot of traction, users coming on to the portal, downloading apps, watching live streaming video on their mobile phones, even from villages, and other such tier 3 areas. So we saw that the problem of video distribution, accessing content through the internet, was solved with the platform that we had built. But one of the problems that was lacking is how do you monetize this video distribution? So we would have more than 100,000 users watching content at any point in time on the platform. But what we were clearly lacking on, how do you really monetize this video distribution? And that is the problem that we were grappling with. And we figured that if we were to actually combine the advantages of broadcast television, which is basically supported by the advertising industry. So if you were to take the advantage of the broadcast industry, combine those advantages with that of television, with that of internet, and make it available on the devices that consumers are going to use to consume video, we knew that we would solve a very important problem of monetization of this video distribution platform. And which is exactly what got us to start this new venture. In AdSparx, we are solving the problem of video monetization, which is happening in very large numbers on the internet and mobile space. We built a product in such a way that it retains the advantages of the broadcasting space, the high experience, the end user experience that consumers are used to when they are watching broadcast television. We're able to combine that with the targeted nature of internet and make it available on any device. In the process of building this platform, we've also built a lot of intellectual property, filed for patents, and built a meaningful solution that solves problems for internet video distributors.
Right. And majority of customers of AdSparx are the publishers, right?
That's right.
So if some, supposing I'm a publisher, and what would be your offerings for AdSparx to a publisher like me?
Right.
So what's
So we essentially solve the problem of inserting user-targeted video ads for video content distributors. So any video content distributor, for example, it could be delivering live events, you could be delivering streaming live television, or you could even be delivering on-demand video, and making it available to consumers who are going to view this content, who are going to access this content, not just on mobile phones, but they're also going to be on tablets, on PCs, and in fact even on IP set-top boxes and connected TVs. So what we are able to deliver and give to a publisher is, we have a single platform which he can use to monetize all the traffic across all the devices by inserting video advertisements into the content while they're being delivered to the user. Essentially, it means that it's going to have the high quality experience of broadcast television, so you'll have very smooth switching between the advertisement and the content without any buffering in between, because it's part of the content stream itself. And it also is going to be available across multiple devices. So a typical use case would be, for example, a user who's there are two users, one is sitting in Delhi watching on his iPad, the other guy sitting in Bombay watching on his iPhone device, and they're both watching the same, let's say, the cricket match being delivered on internet and mobile. At the end of the over, both of them see a very seamless transition to an advertisement. But the advertisements seen by these two guys are different because they belong to different demographics, they belong to different devices, they're probably using a different device, or they belong to different locations. So based on the targeting parameters that the advertisers want, we are able to deliver in-stream video ads for viewers based on the preferences of the advertisers.
How do you see the market competition? Because this is something, yes, is an exciting field, because video is, like everybody is saying, video is the next thing, but making money out of it, is this something the marketers are interested in? Second thing is that, targeted advertisement that we spoke about. How do you see the competition in the market with VServe, as one of the competitors? How do you see AdSparx?
So there's actually a major difference there. Actually, a company like VServe is actually a partner to us than a competition. In fact, the majority of ad network companies out there in the market, whether in India or abroad, are essentially ad sales companies who are actually going and solving a problem for the advertiser. So these companies like VServe or InMobi or Madhouse, they're actually going to an advertiser and getting in the ad dollars which are required to be monetized over the internet video traffic. What AdSparx does is it actually solves the problem for the publisher, so that these ad networks, the campaigns that are brought in by these ad networks are inserted into the content stream in real time. So we are basically a technology player, we are an enabler, and the publisher, and we actually complement the ecosystem by solving a problem for the publisher, and the ad networks actually solve the problem for us by getting in the ad dollars on the table. So we kind of complete the ecosystem, which was not complete as far as video monetization was concerned.
Great. You recently got funded, and that was in the news. So my question is that, how do you see the AdSparx growth from here? And especially because you've seen video as an observer in the market, how do you see and what's exciting things that we can expect from AdSparx?
Right. So AdSparx is a technology company, and we see ourselves solving a global problem and not just an India-centric problem. There are obviously immense opportunities out here in India, essentially driven by mobile video traffic. And we are an important problem solver in the Indian ecosystem theory. It's also demonstrated by the traction that we've been seeing with the customers in India. The money that we've raised is essentially going to be to convert the product that we've built into a solution that can be sold globally and not just in India as a market. Sitting out here in India, solving a global problem is obviously going to require you to have funds, and which is exactly what we've gone and done. We've been backed by some of the very prominent investors in the country, people who bring in not just money but a significant contribution in terms of strategy, in terms of go-to-market, and in terms of obviously connections that can be done not just in India but globally. So from that perspective, we have started some traction in the Southeast Asian market. We have been doing proof of concepts, explaining the concept, because this is obviously going to require a bit of educating the customer, given that it's a familiar concept, but the fact that video traffic can be exploited to make money for themselves is something that most customers, most agencies, most ad networks are unaware of. So we've been doing some proof of concepts in Singapore, we've been doing it in Indonesia, working with some of the telecom operators there through some of the partners. We've been doing some proof of concept in the US. We in fact just about signed our first US customer as well. So we'll be going live. So a lot of this money is going to be used in regularizing support activities, getting smooth installations, reducing customer support time, turnaround times, and significantly marketing and selling in the international markets. So that's how we plan to use the funds.
You've been an evangelizer of the space for more than a decade now, and how do you see what new things that excite you in this market? What's your thought on that?
Right. So I think there are some particular myths that are perpetuated in the market. For example, lack of bandwidth. I think most of the people who are complaining about the lack of bandwidth are actually complaining about the lack of, or rather the unused bandwidth, the bandwidth which can be used but is not being used. I think bandwidth is available on mobile devices, on those 3G dongles, on I think we've made some very fast progress on spreading internet connectivity across the country. Even in villages, I think we get decent connections. I think there is a significant improvement in the quality of devices that is now reaching out to the hands of the masses, which was till some time back only within the reach of urban population. Having said that, I think there's a significant more that can be done. I think reducing the prices, and I think it is happening at a very, very rapid rate. It is happening at a very rapid rate. Moreover, I think Indian consumers are also ready to pay for the bandwidth, for the quality of service that they want. I think a lot of these myths are perpetuated with a very traditional mindset. And the result is for all of us to see, right? I mean, there are some very interesting numbers that I've been following. 79% of global internet traffic is expected to be video. India happens to be the fastest growing market as far as mobile video consumption is concerned. We are growing in hundreds of percentages every year for the last few years. So the consumption of video content, right, on mobile devices is phenomenal in India. I think some of the telecom operators which had the lead in offering mobile video content to consumers, I think they've significantly lost out. And we see an emergence of the OTT traffic. The fact that YouTube is huge on mobile devices as well clearly proves the point. the focus of YouTube on India is also very well known. So OTT traffic, I think beyond the YouTube of the world, there are significant milestones achieved by media companies. Some of these obviously happen to be the big names, the Star Sports, the Sonys. In fact, even content aggregators like Next TV has done phenomenally well. So I think it's a very positive trend. It's a very positive trend, and it has sustained. The growth has sustained as far as India is concerned. I think monetization is a dying need of all these players, and I think we fit into the strategy of most of these companies very well.
Good to hear that. And how does it feel to build a global or develop a global product from a city like Pune, which is not that, the debate into the Silicon Valley of Mumbai and Delhi? How does it feel to develop a global product for Pune?
I think we are probably overselling ourselves by calling us the Silicon Valley of whatever. I think there are huge strides and improvements necessary before we can even start saying those words together.
Right.
But okay, how does it feel? I think it feels. There's no doubt we feel great. What feels immensely great is being in the space, being able to foresee some of the changes, predict some of these changes is obviously great. But being in a position to do something about the changes that are going to happen, I think is phenomenal. I can't overstate the sense of happiness, the sense of achievement, the high that you get by being able to do something about the future. I think that's the biggest high.
Thanks, man. Good to hear from you, and wish all the best to AdSparx. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck.
Wish you the best.